The Brisbane Writers' Festival is run each year in September as part of the Brisbane Festival. Street Reads is sponsored by the Brisbane City Council as part of these events. Visitors and locals alike can use their mobile devices to scan QR codes posted around the city and on maps to take part in a choose-your-own adventure story. Street Reads artist Madonna Barraclough describes seeing the final project come to life.
The posters up and then, a couple would come along and nip in and scan their phone over the QR code and do their own thing, and that was really good to see that people are going to engage and that it's contemporary and it's now.
Organiser Emily Craven explains why the Brisbane City Council sponsors this event.
Awesome, because it's a great way to culturally enrich a city while sort of also providing these really good free activities for people to do, which sort of helps them explore it, but at the same time, have a bit of fun.
Up to 1,000 locals and tourists are expected to choose their own adventure story during September.
It's been great. It's such a fabulous idea. I think it'll be really suitable for families. Great idea for families. They're just so exciting. You never know where it's going to take you to next. The story has so many twists and turns, and the fact that you get to choose from one episode to the next is really exciting.
Young and old alike can take part in Street Reads.
Originally it was aimed at people who had smartphones, so we were sort of expecting a young adult to early 20s, 30s crowd sort of come through. However, what we found last year was that a lot of families were doing it, so the parents would have the smartphones and then they would take the kids and allow them to use the smartphones or the iPads or whatever. So it went from something that we thought was a young adult, new adult kind of level to something that was almost an all ages one, and I even caught families taking not only the kids but the grandparents on the tours, which I found really funny because the grandparents were slowly learning how to use these QR code readers.
Science fiction author Tom Dallamon found writing for Street Reads challenging.
The trick with the Choose Your Own Adventure stories, it's written in second person, and I tried really hard to make sure that I was never making the reader, who is the main character of the story, do anything that any person reading it wouldn't want to do, which is really difficult because you have to take into consideration that you could be talking to a child, it could be an old man, it could be a woman, it could be anyone, including someone's stuck in a wheelchair. I can't say, oh, you run across the road to save the person, without that breaking the immersion for them. And the whole concept of my story was being immersed in Brisbane, literally, as the story says, you're uploaded into a simulation, but also because the surrounds were such a part of the story, changing with the story, and the buildings were the characters. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that would kick you out of that. So the audience, the target audience, was as broad as I could make it. I think I achieved that. There are a couple of, I haven't checked, but I had a horrible thought the other day where I would say, you can see the town hall, when I could have said, the town hall is in the distance, because a blind person listening to the story would feel out of place. It's really, it's interesting.
The streets of Brisbane can be rediscovered year-round by downloading a map online.
This is great. I've just been looking around at the city and the sites that I totally forgot about. It's like this one here, and just really enjoying it and just getting a lot out of what's around in the city in the evening, and love it.